Welcome back to the Chatty Ramble. I am your hostess of the mostess. Is that the thing? Anyway, whatever it is, I'm Caroline, the original Dragon Lady, and my guest in this episode of the Chatty Ramble is Laura Renwick. Now, Laura and I crossed paths a little while ago, mainly because she did the artwork for Donna Byatt's deck. What's it called? I've got a copy of it here. What is
It's
it called?
the Avery Light Codes Prophecy deck.
Ah,
But the Avery
I'm
Light.
gonna go and grab a deck. Hang on, bear with me, 'cause it's in my bookcase. The
Okay.
Avebury Light Codes deck, the Light Codes Prophecy thingies. That's what that's so. This is how Laura and I cross paths,
Mm.
and that's produced by Donna Byatt, who runs and owns Elements in Avebury. So you don't live far from Avebury, do you, Laura?
No, so I'm in Collinbourne, Kingston. So if I go out of the house and turn left, I'm about 20 minutes from Avebury. And if I turn right, I'm about 20 minutes from Stonehenge. So right in the
Nice.
middle. So
So cool. You're closer than me because I'm 45 minutes in each direction.
yeah, yeah,
So
I'm
I must drive past your place every time I go to Avebury then.
probably because I'm right on the main road.
Yeah. Anyway, we digress off in as is the Chatty Ramble. So how did you get roped into doing Donna's deck? Because that came out this summer, didn't it? And what else have you been up to?
So with Donna, so I knew her from being in and out of Elements quite regularly. And I'd been in Elements once and I'd seen a book called The Rainbow Tablets by Sia Lanu. So I bought it and I was just like, it was just the most amazing book. And then I'd seen Donna was doing a live on Facebook. So I tuned in and Sia Lanu, the author of the book, was on there. And I was like, oh. And it was as I was reading this book. And Donna had said that there was going to be a workshop while she was there. So I booked onto the workshop at Avebury. And obviously Donna was there. I'd met Sia Lanu and we connected and sort of added each other on Facebook and whatnot. And then a few months had passed and I'd had this sort of nudge to put out online about having availability to do a deck design. So then Sia contacted me and said, oh, like I've put it out to my guides and to my spirit team and you appeared, so let's see. So I did some samples for her, and yeah, they turned out beautifully. So that's a project that she's working on getting a publisher with. But then obviously Donna had this idea for a deck in the pipeline, so that's where the recommendation had come from. Because the whole time that Donna had known me, she didn't realize that I did oracle decks and tarot decks. So she was just like, okay, like this is something to keep in mind. And then I had a message through the website, and she was just like, right, I'm ready. Let's get on it. Let's do it. So yeah, we kind of put our heads together. Donna gave me a vision or ideas, and then made it into what it is.
Because it is beautiful. It's a beautiful deck. It's
Yeah.
so did you do like the box cover and all that kind of thing as well?
Yeah, so all the visuals. So what we did was Donna's got all the photographs in there. Some of them I had edited and put different bits in. So like on the Divine Feminine card with the rose. So that was Donna's picture of all the things, but the rose head was a picture that I'd taken from a rose that looked more in bloom, more full. So we put that on there. But yeah, it's all done via iPad. So I don't use Photoshop or anything. It's all done iPad, so kind of like hand edited digitally. So yeah, all of Donna's pictures on there, and then I just sort of added in. But there's a lot of them in the deck that were quite naturally magical. So like the DNA strand in the sky, that was there. I just kind of enhanced it a bit more, and the rainbow one, the light code. So there was a lot that was already in the pictures, but then there's some of them you can tell have got more magic in them that have been added on. But yeah,
They are stunning. What a great combination of people coming together.
yeah, do you know, it
And
was really lovely to work with her on it. It's,
yeah, and how it all lines up as well and things like that. Because you're an artist in your own right anyway, aren't you?
yeah, so I started years and years ago doing pet portraits, and I still do one or two a
Oh.
year. So I'm like, detail was like my thing. And then I moved away from that. I got an art studio last year in May, and have since sort of moved into more abstract oil painting. So I call it Crystal Alchemy art.
Oh,
And
I've seen that in Elements. It's fabulous.
yes, yeah. So there's two by the till, two above the Arga, and then I think there's one in the back room. So that's yeah. So oil paintings that are abstract, but landscape inspired, and then they're embellished with the crystals. So obviously they've got the crystal healing, and then I put all my healing and all the goodness into them, which yeah, they're beautiful in their own right. I mean, sounds like I'm
So
tooting my horn.
do you do commissions for those? If people would ask you to do something specific, would you do like a commission for somebody?
Yeah, so what I do, I mean, I have a specific style, but I can still tune in. So I call them like soul art commissions. So I
Hmm.
make some that are ready made to order, but then if someone's got something colors in mind, so if they've seen my work, and like I say, they're quite abstract, but landscape
Hmm.
inspired. But in terms of colors, and then there's like a color system that I've created, so I'd factor that in, and I guess it's kind of like a reading in art form, but also it's something that you can go back to that kind of holds your intention, holds your energy, and you just have it in your space and you can sit with it, and it's an experience rather than just a bit of stuff you put on your wall.
Rather just a piece of bog standard art.
Yeah, like something you can get from down the shops and just whack it up for 20 quid. Yeah, it's
I
yeah.
love it. So before we came on, you said something about Hammer House of Horror. What on earth was all that about?
Oh, so yeah, I this was like one of my dream design jobs. It like and it was something that just came out of nowhere. So I was tagged in a post over the summer about Oracle, well, about tarot design. So I didn't really know what it was, and I sort of said, right, what's this? And they're a production company for a documentary. I thought, right, okay. So had a chit chat, and then we're like, we want you to do some tarot cards with famous faces on. Right, okay. So then they sent one through for a sample, and it was Christopher Lee, and I was like, okay. So and they got more into it, and it turns out that it was for a documentary celebrating 90 years of Hammer Horror, and that aired on Sky Arts on Halloween, just gone. Uh,
Mm.
I think it's still available in the ether somewhere. But yeah, I got to do it was 22 designs of people that were either in the Hammer films or behind the scenes, and it was what a project. I got invited to the premiere at Leicester Square in London to go and see it on the big screen.
Oh wow.
It was amazing. It was just like incredible. So seeing my name on the credits, and it was just yeah, that was like a big moment for me to be like, oh yeah, look at that. So on my
That is a big moment for any artist though, isn't it? Oh,
yeah,
congratulations.
thank you. It's just so surreal. There's like a bit because they use it the cards in between with the tarot dealer between talking about different people, and as they put down the Christopher Lee card, still on screen, you've got Tim Burton's voice over my artwork, and I was just like, what?
Wow.
It was that's definitely a career highlight. Like
That's bloody good going. Oh, well done. I'm really pleased.
you.
So what else has been going on apart from that amazing?
Yeah, I mean, I've had that on the go. I am working on another deck at the minute, which is a really, really lovely children's deck. There's an author based in Glastonbury, and yeah, that's nearing completion, which is lovely.
How fabulous. Because actually that's something that's not in, because people say my dragon deck, my God, I should do a children's deck because the children are so drawn to the dragons.
Yeah.
Because it isn't something we have, is it? We don't have children. Well, I've not seen children's decks.
So I know my daughter's got a deck that's like animal spirit guides that is more children orientated, but other than that, she's got like the Karen K Fairy deck,
Mm.
but there's not much that is directed specifically for children. So this deck is really beautiful actually. So she lives in Glastonbury, but she used to live up near us and would go to Savernake and Avebury quite often.
Mm.
Created some characters like in the forest and around the places for her children when they went out on their walks. And this is like 20 years of that come to life put into a deck. And it's just, oh, it's so beautiful seeing it all come together. It's lovely.
Wow, that's incredible.
It's magical. It's lovely.
So do you do, other than your abstract art, do you do like commissions for people? For obviously doing with decks and things is obviously quite a big thing that you do.
Yeah.
But do you do okay, so firstly, how does somebody contact you if they want a commission from a tarot deck or an oracle deck or anything else? And do you do commission pieces other than your sort of your healing um uh,
Yeah.
light code art?
Yeah, so I mean, contactable for the crystal pieces on the website. So that's anuveya.co.uk. But yeah, I mean, like with the pet portraits, that's still kind of quietly running under the surface. In fact, I've just booked one in. I don't normally book them in this close to Christmas, but it was a German Shepherd, so I couldn't refuse. So I do that, but then other bits I do. So I've got in the pipeline doing a mural at a local school, and I do like children's teaching, creative wellbeing, bits like that. So I mean, the art isn't just streamlined into the decks and the crystal stuff. It's yeah, it's a lot. So
Where else does it go then? Tell me more. Now I'm intrigued.
so I sort of coined the term for myself, holistic artist, because I don't just create the art. I love teaching as well. And when I was little, I always used to say, I want to be an artist and I want to be a teacher. And I got told with the whole artist part, yeah, but you want to get a proper job though. An artist
Oh
isn't
yeah.
a job. And I'm stood here like, look at me now. But with the teacher, that was something that always run through. But I'm not very good at maths and didn't really get the grades to be a teacher. And to be honest, I'm kind of glad it worked out the way it did because I'm not a bog standard teacher. Like, and I
Mm.
mean, like, fair play to those that are teachers because it is a hard job.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I tend to do is I go into schools, I either run workshops as a whole class or I work with small groups with children that have got either special educational needs or need a bit extra emotional support or even just a bit of confidence. Also, working with military children as well. And just using art as a tool for them to sort of find a safe space and self expression. And it's really really lovely to work with children in that capacity. It's great because then you are it's teaching, but it's holding space for children and letting them feel seen because there's a lot of spaces where they're just told to just sit down, be quiet and do the work.
That is fabulous. So, do you only do that within school, or would you do that like as a part of a home ed project, or for
Yeah,
like a group of parents, or?
yeah, so I do one-to-one with a child who's homeschooled.
Okay.
So and I did look into doing like home ed groups, see what's on. But yeah, this I think it's important that they have that creative outlet and creative expression in the opportunity to do that. And yeah,
Yeah.
children that can't access like mainstream education, I think it's important for them. So I've got a son that's got quite complex needs and autism, ADHD, and quite moderate learning difficulties. And I mean,
Mm.
he doesn't like to sit and do art with me, which is fair enough. That's not his bad. He'd rather sit and play Lego. But sort of coming from the background of being a special needs parent and knowing the support that's needed for parents, it's nice for me to be able to go and do that and offer that to others. It's yeah, that's
That's fabulous because, yeah, because this is it, isn't it? With we think about us as adults, sort of that whole mind, body, spirit connection,
yeah.
but actually the kids need it probably more than we do.
Yeah, I think that sort of the education system, I think it is starting to have a bit of a shake up now. And
Mm.
especially at my daughter's school, I had a meeting with them and they said what they're starting to do is rather than just teaching mainstream, they teach in an SEN friendly way. So that's inclusive for everyone, which is great. But I think having opportunities to sort of tap into their creativity without it being a lesson, just giving
Yeah.
them space to explore. Because like creativity, I mean, I'm a womb priestess. I've done my years shamanic womb apprenticeship and I've been working with the womb energy and the sacral for a long time. And that's your place of creativity. That's where it all comes from. And co-creating with yourself. So it's a lot of my ethos is like craft a life you love because it's not just making pretty pictures, it's co-creating the world around you and bringing your life into existence. So if you can exercise that creative muscle, then that's going to help you as you go through.
That, I think that's just beautiful. Yeah, create the life you love. And if you can create that and co-create that with others, that makes a difference out there in our communities and the wider world. How
Yeah,
fabulous.
it is. It's so lovely, especially working with adults as well. Because
Yeah.
I do like the art workshops, but then at the retreats and stuff I run, we do creative stuff, and I often get people go, "Oh, I'm not arty. I'm not. I can't even draw a stick man." Is the the usual one. But
Hmm.
it's not about creating something good. It's about just exercising that creative muscle, being in tune with what you want to do, even just mark making, color choices. And when I love to analyze stuff. So when I look at people, I'm like, oh, yeah, and it's like I'm loving it. But even for them, just to get to a point where they've made something and they can
Mm.
look at it and think, yeah, that's pretty good. Like it's just that sense of self-achievement, even when they thought they couldn't do it. It's
Yes,
it's lovely.
that is so, so true. So do you have like a YouTube channel, Facebook page, Instagram, any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so I do have a YouTube actually, but that's more, I used to do like lives every Tuesday. So there's really old stuff on my YouTube, which you could catch. But on my Instagram, if you want to see more of my paintings and artwork, Instagram is the one to go. So that's at Anuveya, Anuveya. And then on Facebook, there is an Anuveya Facebook, but I tend to just be more on my page, which is Laura Anne Renwick. And it's, yeah, I put all my stuff on there. So there's a bit of all sorts because I'm quite multifaceted.
I love it. So what we'll do, and you obviously there's your website as well. So what we'll
Yes.
do is we'll make sure that all the links are below, so
Yeah.
people can come and find you and get your next big commission for TV or Sky or Netflix or whoever will be amazing.
Yes.
Um, so make sure all your links are there and people can come and find you for any of the work that you do, children's workshops or anything else. Or even your next card commission. That'd be fabulous, wouldn't it? Laura, thank you so much. It's been great talking to you. I love the diversity of what you do.
There's a lot in there, and I mean, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of projects I keep spinning, but if you want to see all of them, then yeah, my website's the place to go because I would have been here for hours talking to you otherwise.
Because I know we didn't touch on it, but because you do a bit with color as well, which is a part of your work, isn't it? So maybe that's one for another podcast.
Yeah, that's a whole other podcast.
Yeah, it's been fab talking to you. Thank you so much. And guys, so that's it from this episode of the Chatty Ramble. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Big love. Take care for now.